Good morning, fantasy football fans, and welcome in to week 3 of the Brady Fantasy Football Podcast. Week 3 is in the books, and week 4 is here. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. First up on the block, we got We're So Back, myself, versus Mahase, the 4-time champ. Going into this week 2-0, I went into this week 1-1, and we're both leaving it 2-1 as I emerged victorious despite a terrible showing from my special team. First up, Brock Purdy doing a great job against my Baker Mayfield, but the real hero here, Derrick Henry going up against a Joe Mixon who was not able to play, so a 0 to my 31. Jace put up a fight. Solid showing from James Cook, Chris Godwin, Kincaid as well, and Aubrey, of course, kicking for 11. He only left some firepower on the bench. Hopkins had a great week. Eckler was good before he was out, and A.J. Brown is still out. Unfortunately, he's got Puka Nacua on IR. And George Pickens did okay too at 10.7. And the main thing is the running back there probably would have been enough to defeat me. The 16 points there plus the other one. So he had the firepower there. Anyway, we're getting into the weeds here. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Basically, Derrick Henry, the king, Amon St. Brown, looking great. Malik Neighbors looking like maybe the steal of the draft. Maybe the steal of the draft, but you know what I mean? He looks like the real deal. He left the game Thursday, which we will get into later. Anyways, 28 points from Malik Neighbors, 31 from Derrick Henry. Very, very happy with that. Hunter Henry, despite his elite status, only 2.9 points. Tony Pollard, 5.9. And then my special teams was just abysmal here. I mean, I guess they put together more points than Ramondre Stevenson and Joe Mixon combined, but not super happy for me. So I think I got away with one here with poor showing from 2 of the running backs on Mahase's team, and he was with J.Mo Williams being able to produce as well. I was able to take advantage of that despite poor showing from Baker and the bottom half of my team there. But happy to get the dub. Well played, Jace. I'm sure I'll see you later in the playoffs. But yep. Yeah, thanks for the game. Thanks for the dub, bro. Next, we got Ice Brady versus a new name from Josh T. Defeated, but not deleted, because he's 0-3. So, Travis moves to 2-1. Josh T moves to 0-3 on the week. You can see it was pretty close here until it got to Sunday night, Monday night here, where Travis just kind of continued to run away with it despite Josh Thompson's attempts there. Big shout out to Rashid Rice, 30 points. And on the opposite side, the closest contender to that was Chris Olave and the Jets D putting up 20, which is pretty incredible against the Pats defense last week, even though I didn't like it. Fairburn put up 0 points as the kicker, unfortunate. The only goose egg there on Travis's team this week. Did have Justin Fields on the bench, who put up a better performance than Jalen Hurts, which I'm sure made Travis happy. No, Justin Fields is doing well. Maybe not happy that he left him on the bench, but it is what it is. And then on the opposite side, I mean, really just in bad luck here from Josh T. I mean, you have Josh Jacobs and James Conner having a rough week, and CJ Stroud not doing well. He did leave some firepower on the bench with McLaurin getting 21 and Zach Moss getting 20, which would have been a nice help to his team there. If that 20 points would have just about got him the week from Zach Moss, but it is what it is, as I like to say. And Ice Brady moves away with the win, moving to 2-1, and Josh T fell to 0-3. He is defeated, but not deleted. Next, we have East Coast Guy versus Liberty Bibbity, where East Coast Guy pulls out the first win on the year. They move to 1-2, and Liberty Bibbity falls to 1-2 with only 88 points on the week, which is the lowest of the week. We know this is Liberty Bibbity's plan. We know what he's doing. He's sandbagging. He's appearing weak at the beginning of the season to run it back. So keep close eyes on Liberty Bibbity. He did this last year. We will not be fooled again. East Coast Guy, standout guy, Amari Cooper, 27.6 points in that loss against the New York Giants. Excellent showing. I think it's best on the year so far. 2 receiving touchdowns. I mean, I didn't watch the game, so I assume it's Deshaun Watson throwing it to him, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Marvin Harrison Jr. looking great, 17 points, and Khalil Shakir looking like Josh Allen's guy at 19.2 on the win against Jacksonville there. Special teams not doing a lot of help at 6.36 points combined there. And Anthony Richardson throwing 2 interceptions and looking like a rookie basically. He missed most of his rookie year with an injury. He only played like 2 games last year before going out, and this year it's showing a little bit, I think, his inexperience, but hopefully he can get through that because he is, in terms of athleticism, just insane. So hopefully he can put it together and start making some smarter throws Because I did watch a good chunk of that game, and it was pretty rough to watch him make some of those throws. On the other side of the ball, Kyler Murray in that loss to Detroit, 14 points. Kyron Williams, 31.6 points, absolute monster. Breece Hall doing a great job at 17 points, and then it kind of fizzles out from there. T. Higgins, Calvin Ridley, Brock Bowers is doing pretty solid as a tight end, but tight ends in general are just kind of down this year. DeAndre Swift, 6.2, and neither team left a lot on the bench. There's 10 here from DeAndre Spears, and it looks like 12 from QJ on the Los Angeles Chargers in that loss against Pittsburgh that left the Los Angeles Chargers team crippled and walking away, it appeared. Also a poor showing from special teams here for Aaron, unfortunate. 0 points on Jake Elliott and 1.32 from the Cowboys D. Hate to see it. That, like I said, moves Aaron to 1-2, but watch the space. We know what he's doing, and Shane moves to 1-2 to leave just one team without a win this year, and we all know who it is. He's been defeated, but not deleted. Josh T. On to our next one. Playoff Herbs versus Dear Dark Purdy in the Nail Biter of the Week. 130.42 to 129.40, so winning by just barely a point. 1.02 points here in the game that came all the way down to the wire. Absolutely crazy. Both teams did great. Like I said, Zero Dark Purdy's put together a solid roster, and Jake is 3-0. Top of the leaderboards again, as you can see up here. The updated standings. He is 3-0. You read that correctly. Jake, who's been in our league for 3 years, is 3-0. Absolutely insane. Best start he's ever had, I'm sure. On the left side, the losing side, we're going to start there. Lamar Jackson, monster, 25.98. Jonathan Taylor, looking great, 27.50. Jamar Chase, looking like a first-round pick, 31.8. And Nico Collins, 13. Pretty solid stuff. The real kicker, here is DeAndre Hopkins, 0 points. I did talk him in 2 weeks ago because I don't think Cleveland was even going to get close enough to kick with their offense this year with Deshaun Watson leading them. And in the end, they lost by 1.02 points, which is unfortunate because Pat would have given him 1 point, and then he would have lost by 0.02 if he didn't miss the 50. But, it is what it is. It's hard to, you can go back and look at what it is. But the real thing here, look at this, 31.86, benching Prescott. He had both of them. He had Prescott and he had Lamar, and he ended up choosing Lamar, and Prescott went 31.86, which would have won him the week. Unfortunate. Goddard looking like a crazy 28 points as a tight end in this year is like going 50. Absolutely insane. And, he didn't start him over Kelsey again. Could have been a W there. And then Singletary getting 18 points. He would have started him over Mason. Could have been the W there. That's how it always goes, though. You can't beat yourself up. It just is what it is. On the right side of the game, it's 10.68 points from the special teams, beating out the Chiefs and the Hopkins duo there. Metcalf, monster, 23.40 points versus Miami. And Joshua Allen looking like, he's the reason why people pick quarterbacks like in the first and second round, is because 30 points. He's a monster, dude. Everyone talked about him not having weapons this year, but he doesn't need weapons, bro. He throws the ball and they catch it. He throws it so hard they have no choice but to catch it. Just kind of lodges into their pads or something, you know what I mean? And that leaves Jake 3-0 on the week. Congratulations, Jake. Excellent effort. Josh H, Zero Dark Purdy, you've put together quite the squad. Not someone to be messed around with here. On to the next one. Yeah, Chiefs 3-peat versus Corey's I'm Not Worthy. And I was talking some smack against Josh, how he, was the number one team week 1 and then fell off, and now he is coming right back. He was not able to beat my record of 164 points in a week, unfortunately, for him. Good for me. Shows who's the better team heading into week 4 there. But he did great. Really, he ran away with it pretty quick, and Corey stood no chance, getting only 100 points. We'll take a look at it right now, though. Starting with the winner, Patrick Mahomes, 16. Interesting, he keeps starting him over Jaden Daniels, 28 points from Jaden Daniels. Jaden looks like a monster fantasy-wise, but he also looks like he could be getting hurt pretty soon if he keeps it up, because he is getting a lot of hits in a game. Patrick Mahomes, 16.38 points, nothing to write home about, but he did his job. 16 points. What can you say? Aaron Jones, 26.8. Saquon Barkley, looking like just a monster, dude. 36.6 points. He is winning people weeks all day. People were, wondering if he was going to be able to perform fantasy-wise heading over to Philly, and I think this answers that question. 36.6 points. Roma Dunze finally popped off too, 24.0. Mark Andrews just playing the blocks. It was Mark Andrews versus Isaiah Likely this week, and Isaiah got 1.4 and Mark Andrews 0. So not a whole lot of production there in general. Josh only left Jaden Daniels on the bench. It's the only really improvement he could have made there. I mean, Coleman, 9 points. Yeah, he wouldn't have made a difference there. And shout out to the Hawks special teams or defense, 18 points, and McPherson, 8 points, kicking it for 26 points total there for Josh. Nothing to laugh about there. That does give him the second highest score on the week, which is impressive, or second highest scoring of the year, the first highest scorer of the week. Excellent work, Josh. You put together quite a formidable team that I can't wait to defeat this week. And Corey, I needed you, brother. And what the hell happened there? I mean, Devontae Smith goes out. Unfortunate versus New Orleans. 14 points before he went out. I mean, your Boswell and Buccaneers pick put together 12. Isaiah Likely not doing much. Tyreek Hill had a poor showing. I think the Tua being out is hitting the Dolphins' offense harder than, I don't say maybe than people anticipated. I think people anticipated it. But fantasy-wise, I mean, Tyreek and A-Chain, those are like, I think the lowest they've had this year and probably in a while. Unless they missed a game, excuse me. And then, of course, Joe Burrow, Mr. Cool, 27 points in that loss against the Washington Commanders, and David Montgomery, 22.2 on the Lions. It is what it is. He tried his best, but clearly he's not worthy of a W. Sorry, Corey. And with that, that's going to end our Week 3 recap, and we're going to head to Week 4. Starting off with Worcester back versus Chiefs 3P, the matchup you've all been waiting for. We both head into this 2-1, with me projecting to win. I mean, hey, what can I say? Neighbors put me off to a good start, 24 points in Week 4 versus Dallas on Thursday night. I love to see it. He did get concussed at the end, which I did not love to see, but sounds like he's going to be okay, so I'm happy about that. 24 points. Thank you, Neighbors. I appreciate it. It is all good in the neighborhood. I like my matchups this week. Mayfield versus Philly. I won't go into all of it because I don't want to make this episode super long. I did pick up Jennings, who blew up last week, like 30, like I don't know, it was like 40 points or something like that, crazy. I don't know if he'll do it again this week, but I am hoarding him on my bench to see what he does. So we got him there. On the other side, I don't really know if Josh has made any changes. I know Kenneth Walker's good to go, but Njoku's out, Tangdella's out, Kupp is still out. So he's dealing with some injuries. He'll probably have to throw Dunze in there for Dell, and he might have to pick up a new tight end. Oh no, he's got Command. He'll throw Command in, so he's good. Probably change the projections a little bit, but I don't think it'll be enough to put him projected above me, and I don't really care because the projections don't really mean nothing. We just got to see what it comes down to. I believe I'll get the dub here. I'm the better team, and we have not made any side bets, but there's still time if we want to talk Sunday morning, so we'll see. But yeah, we both go in 2-1, and one person's going to leave 2-2, and the other one's going to leave 3-1, so I hope that's me. The next one, we got East Coast Guy versus Ice Brady. We got Trey McBride out, so he's going to have to swap him out. McCaffrey still on IR, and Jaylen Warren out. Dealing with some injuries there on the East Coast Guy side. On the East Coast side there, Rashad White also I heard might be out because he's got an illness, so he'd have to swap him out, which maybe Gus Edwards goes in. Not looking super great in terms of health for East Coast Guy. And on Travis's side, Travis had Dowdle start off with 13.1 points on Thursday night. Not bad. He's got no other injuries besides that. Pacheco's on IR, which we know, and we'll see what happens there. If I had to give it to one, I'm probably going to give it to Travis. I like his matchups better when I looked at him earlier this week. And dealing with those injuries too, I'm going to have to give it to Travis. Best of luck, Travis. Best of luck, Shane. And on to the next one. We got defeated, but not deleted. Josh T looking to get his first win of the week versus the 4-time champ, Mahase. And he's off to a great start. He's got CD Lamb going 25.6 and Jake Ferguson going 10.9 on Thursday night against that New York Giants squad. Olave is questionable, but I'm sure he'll play. Devontae Adams is out, and he's already got Jay Brooks on the injury reserve, so he's dealing with some injuries there. On the other side of the ball, we got Mahase. Mahase has A.J. Brown, who's been ruled out, Mixon, who's probably out, Eckler, who's probably out, Puka Nacua, who's on IR, and he is using one of his bench spots to hold the Bengals D. He did get 10 points from Aubrey this week. The boy can kick. I remember saying that in our group chat. He only missed his first career 50 he missed on Thursday night. But yeah, I mean, he's been so good, and I'm not really worried about that miss, and I don't think Jay should be either. But 10 points to start off for him. He's got a little bit of a mountain to climb in terms of the projections, about 31 points. That'll change, obviously, when he swaps out A.J. Brown. Best luck to you. I do think Veto but not deleted might get it. I mean, he's got a great start with CD and Jake Ferguson in the tight end slot there. He's going up against Dalton Kincaid, though, so that could change. But I think I'm going to give it to Josh T. I think he's going to get his first win of the week. Josh will move to 1-3, and Jace will end 2-2. We'll see how it lands. Next, we have Liberty Bibbidi versus Zero Dark Purdy. Zero Dark Purdy's put together quite a squad, and Liberty Bibbidi, we'll see if he's done sandbagging yet, but Josh is 1-2. Josh H. and Aaron is 1-2. So one of these teams is going to move to 2-2, and one will move to 1-3. I'll probably give it to Zero Dark Purdy. I've liked his squad so far, and I think he's continued to make some good changes here. So the only thing I would change is his kicker. The only thing Hopkins has got it, man. I would change that kicker. Dallas D, 5 points on that Thursday night showing. They were a powerhouse last year, but this year they're really showing. Maybe people just got them figured out or something, but not a super great defense this year so far. So we'll see what happens there, but I'm going to give this one to Zero Dark Purdy. I like the matchups for him a little bit better this week, and I think the Ravens Buffalo one's going to be a shootout. I could be totally wrong, but he did leave Dak on the bench, who got 18, and Singletary on the bench, who only got 4. So those are pretty solid benches there. Hopefully Lamar can do more, and we'll see what happens. Zero Dark Purdy takes on last year's defending champ Liberty Bibbity, and I think he's going to get the dub. So best of luck, Josh H. Best of luck, Aaron. See where the cards land. And finally, we got Jake, who is the only undefeated team left, 3-0, high off Herbs, versus Corey's I'm Not Worthy, who is on a 2-game loss streak and might be continuing it this week looking at those projections. He's got no tight end spot because I think he picked up one, and Devontae Smith is still out, so he's going to have to swap him out. He does have plenty of weapons on the bench. Ayuk should be playing this week. I mean, he might have to drop Mandrews finally. We'll see what happens. He's got to get another tight end, though, in there because I don't think Mandrews is the key, at least not at this part of the season. I'm going to give this one to high off Herbs. He's put together quite a roster this year, and I believe he's going to continue it this week versus Corey. But as always, time will tell. I'm no future seer. I'm just kind of spitting in the wind, seeing where it lands. You know what I mean? So, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a short one because this is Saturday night. I'm recording this. I got to get out by Sunday morning, hopefully, so y'all can listen to it. We will do a quick look at the standings, which I know is up here, but I will go ahead and go over it here. One undefeated team, Jake. One team without a win, one winless team yet, which is Josh T. In terms of the points, though, interesting story. We have Josh S. at numero uno, 407. Pretty impressive roster he's put together, but he will be defeated this week, surely. And then we're going to go ahead and check out the coach rating as well. So the coach rating, we're still, Jake's got 74, Mahasi's got 99. So these are the, in terms of leaving the most points on the bench, which is interesting. Zero Dark Purdy, myself, Corey, Josh T. We have Josh S., which is part of the reason probably why he has so many points. He's only left 40 on the bench, which is pretty solid. East Coast guy got 33. Travis got 33. And Aaron has 23, which is a little unfortunate because that means he's being the most effective with what he has. But if you look at what he's doing, I guess he's above me, so there's that. But he's got 364 points on the season, and he's using basically all that he can. He's squeezing as much as he can out of that if you look at this coach rating, because he's only got 23 points left on the bench in the first 3 weeks. So he is using everything he's got, and he's hoping to get a dub this week. So that is all I got for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. I'm a little under the weather, so I apologize if any sniffles, coughs, or whatever the hell else gets in here, but I'm going to try to edit those out. Thanks for tuning in. Best of luck, everybody. See y'all next week.